Speak freely.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome. This is our Boba Fett podcast. This is episode 6. Man, they've been coming on pretty fast. Mm-hmm. And if you thought last week's episode was great, woo, we got a doozy. Man. This one was just awesome.
Dude.
And joining me, obviously, to talk about all this stuff is Justin. Oh man, what do you think, Justin?
How come you get Jedi Elvin? Hold on.
Well, I was smart and you're a Padawan.
Oh, I can't rename myself.
That's too bad.
Oh, wait, I can.
You will learn the ways next time, young Padawan.
Boom.
Yeah, man. Oh, where do I begin? I cannot believe that was a TV show, because that was better than any of the 3 movies that came out recently, right?
Dude, this was the most Star Wars thing that's come out in like okay. I liked this episode better, I think, than The Mandalorian as a whole.
The whole thing.
This was such a Star Wars episode. Like, The Mandalorian, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love The Mandalorian, both seasons. It was kind of a new take in a Star Wars universe. It was a new feel, new theme kind of thing. It felt like a Western. It felt like, and this episode felt like because Star Wars was just a space opera, and this absolutely felt like that. So it like nailed just the feeling of Star Wars, and it was so good.
You're not Master Justin. Stop. What are you? You're a Master of None. That's what you are.
Okay.
Master of None. That's what you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, holy crap. Like, I don't even know where to start. Well, we got to start somewhere here. So, yeah, let's just get it right into it here. You have, last episode you had Mando, heading into space because he's going to go see a little friend of his.
Mm-hmm.
And so he basically fires off into space. And, yeah, that was the beginning, right? It was right. He was right into the.
Yeah, it picked up right off. Yeah,
which I like, because it wasn't like delayed. You just want to get out, because it was such a cliffhanger. Like, you're just like, okay, let's just get this done. I want to see this now, right? I want to see Grogu because I haven't seen him in a goddamn long time.
Yeah,
and I like him. So yeah, they get right. He goes right to the planet. The planet, they don't mention what planet is.
No,
it's kept secret, and even during the movies that came out, this was Luke's school, Jedi school, or Jedi
we don't
Academy.
Even know if it's that.
Well, it is, because they were building that.
It kind of looks different, the huts, and to be honest, the huts were built in like a couple hours, so it's not like they wouldn't take any much longer to build on a new place.
To me, this looks like the beginning of what he was building, and then Kylo Ren came and burnt it all down, right?
That would make sense.
Yeah, to me, that's what it looks like, but they don't mention what planet it is, and I don't know why. Maybe there's a reason to it, but we'll know later on. So, beautiful, lush Zen forest, if you want to call it. Very Zen, very Zen. Yeah. They wanted to make sure that you understood that this was a peaceful, quiet, Jedi-like environment.
Yeah.
Right? This wasn't Tatooine. This wasn't a bustling, world like, Coruscant or something like that. It was Zen, right? Yeah. And you get him, Mando comes out, and lo and behold, you get
R2 just shows up.
Dude, I was like, yes.
It's been a while since we've seen we saw him in The Mandalorian a little bit, but like, I forgot how much personality that droid had, and like how sassy he is, just like walking around, just like doo doo doo.
Yeah. And he's like, take me, can you take me to Grogu? And he says Skywalker.
Yeah.
I think that's the first time he said Skywalker, right? He's never said his name.
I think so, yeah.
So that was cool. Like, he's like, Skywalker. I'm like, here we go. Like, yes.
He's here.
So yeah, he goes to this area, and then you see all these, I forgot the robots' names. I can't remember. But they're,
they're ant droids or something?
Yeah, something like the Busy Bee robots, and they're building the huts, and they make them a little.
I thought it was really cool that the droid, the design of them was the same as the spider walkers that the Trade Federation used. Like the legs construction was similar to those. It was cool to see that.
And then they make him a little bamboo bench.
Yeah. Do you want me to sit down?
Okay, all right, I'm gonna sit down. And then he shuts himself off, R2. So maybe they knew he was gonna come there and designed this way. And so I let you take over a little bit here and give your thoughts on this.
So yeah, he sits down and then it cuts to Luke and Grogu doing their training session, and that dude that they hired that did the deep fakes. So like when Luke showed up in The Mandalorian, it was kind of janky, but you're like, it looks like him. I can see what they're trying to do, and I'll give him credits. It's a little blurry. Could have been done better or whatever. I was like hard staring at Luke's face. There was only a couple times, like when he was running, it got kind of janky, and there were a couple times when he was standing, and there was a couple times when he was standing and talking and moving and looking around that there was a little bit of the blur that you get from the deep fake. So the AI, that's the artificial intelligence that's making the face.
Yeah, it's trying to catch up.
Yeah, so there was a little bit like, and I'm hard nitpicking. I thought it looked amazing, and like while I was watching it, I like audibly said, I was just like, damn, they did a good job. Like good for them, because they caught the eyes. The eyes are always really weird with deepfake stuff, and that's the first thing. Like just as our human brain will notice that something's off and something looks weird. Whenever they've kind of rebrought somebody back from the dead, like Tarkin or Leia, the eyes are just a little dead inside, and you're like, okay, I get what they're intending to do. But this looked like Luke a few years after we last saw him.
Isn't it crazy how fast this technology has gotten better?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
it's crazy.
It's like 2 or 3 years since they did the Luke thing. And then I like how they kind of future-proof themselves, and like right after that episode came out, hired the best dude on the internet that they could find to do deepfake stuff, because they were like, we need to get this shit right. Yeah. And the first couple scenes with Luke, they had him talking off screen. So they would like cut to Grogu and just have like a shoulder of Luke and talking. So at that point I was going to be like, oh, he's not going to be in this episode a ton, and it's just going to be a couple quick little things like, here's Luke, whatever. But he had a ton of screen time. Like he was the majority of the episode. And
threw that theory out the window.
So it was so well done, and it was so cool to see Luke training Grogu, and just all the, like, there was a bunch of callbacks and references, and like when he was talking about Yoda to him and like prying to see if he could remember anything from like his homeworld or whatever, because like there's been 3 of Yoda's species or Grogu's species that we've seen. We don't even know what the species is called.
Nope.
And it's Yaddle, Yoda, and now Grogu.
Yeah.
So even Luke is just like, did other people talk like Yoda, like in riddles and backwards and stuff? Like,
because Grogu doesn't talk, right? And then that's the thing. The other thing about them is they live for a long time. Yeah. Like, we're talking about Yoda like hundreds and hundreds of years. Yeah, exactly.
Yoda was 900 years old.
Yeah.
900 something.
So that also plays into the decisions that he has to make. Yeah. And we'll get into that near the end, where there's a big decision for him to make. But and then, so Mando gets there, and then we have another surprise guest show up. I mean, this show was full of surprise guests. We forgot the beginning part.
Did the episode start with Cobb Vanth?
No, it didn't. See, I had a feeling it didn't start right away.
Did the episode start with Cobb Vanth?
Yes, it did.
Yeah. Okay, does he not remind you of like a younger, less douchey Billy Bob Thornton?
Yes. Now that you mention it, yes.
Especially in this episode. When he was on The Mandalorian, I kind of got that vibe, but this one, it was just like, that looks just like a better Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah, a younger version, you're right.
Yeah, and so we see him squaring off with some Pikes, and they're doing a drug deal in the middle of the desert, and he's just
a
like,
spice deal.
Whatever. And
we apologize for everybody who's listening and they're like, hey, you guys just forgot a whole 2 minutes of the beginning.
Dude, there was so much shit in this episode.
We were just so excited. We just wanted to get right into Grogu.
Like, every part was like, when we were speculating before, we were like, maybe this person, maybe this happens. And then it's just like, oh yeah, all that shit happens and then some.
It was like, oh, you guys talking trash about Boba? Okay, here we go then. We're going to knock you guys out. So yeah, Cobb Vanth basically stops these, Pikes from, doing a drug deal. He shoots a few of them, and he lets one guy go.
His line with the last guy, like, he's just like, what did he say? He's think it through, or
I don't know. He said something like
something just like, just take your time to think about it.
Yeah. It's one of those.
It's
one of those lines you always say, like, to the last guy that's standing in the room, like, hey. Yeah. Are you sure you want to do this, or do you want to just go walk away and live, right? Because it's the same thing what Mando did in the butcher place, right? The last episode, where he's like, hey, you guys have an option here, right? Like, I'm gonna give you a couple seconds to think about this before I decimate all of you. And yeah, so the guy decides to leave and leaves the actual box. If you look at it right now, I think Cobb Vanth made the wrong choice. He should have asked them to leave everything behind. And we'll talk about it at the end, right? But they leave the spice box, and to him he's just like, what is this? I don't care. Like, I don't know if he understood what that was and what the big deal was. Oh no,
he absolutely knows.
Oh, does he know?
Well, yeah. I mean, he's talked about spice runners before. It's a well-known thing
is it? Okay.
In Star Wars.
All right.
Well, like the mines of Kessel, where Wookiees were enslaved. It's just common knowledge, and that was used to mine spice. And that's the whole thing why Trandoshans hate Wookiees, or vice versa, is because they capture them and then enslave them on that planet.
So this is like this is like the blood diamonds.
Yeah, right? Totally. Yeah. And the guy, the one Pike guy, is just like, this is worth more than your entire town. He's like, maybe I'll retire then. And then he shows that he's incorruptible. He's a good guy, and he kicks the spice into the dirt.
Yeah, let it go into the sand.
Yeah,
I'll let the sand take it away. But yeah, it was nice to see him back. But he looked a little tiny with that armor, huh?
Yeah,
a little fragile.
Yeah.
I wonder if they will make him an armor. Who knows? Who knows, right? We can always speculate. So going back to this planet where he has Mando is, we get another surprise, a very nice guest, and I'm a huge fan of her. Rosario Dawson shows up as Ahsoka. I love her and everything she's done, including the Daredevil TV show. But she shows up, and you're just like, hey, why not?
Ahsoka's
why
here.
not?
You're like, all right, cool.
We got a couple of Jedis. Why not bring in another one that's a former Jedi, even better and cooler and badass, right? So she comes, and she just basically... It's funny how Mando quickly draws for the gun, right? Like, he was like,
he's just having a nap, and she's just like, hey...
What?
Yeah.
All right. And she's like, hi, how's it going? All right. And so Mando is basically trying to tell her, like, there was a couple good lines in there back and forth between the two. The one line that I liked about her was, because I'm close to the family.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, dude, that was juicy.
I didn't even think about, like, when she showed up in The Mandalorian and then Luke showed up, I did not, like, it's not hidden or a secret thing or whatever. I just didn't put the fact that she was his dad's Padawan and had that huge history. And so when they were talking, and like when she was up close to the family, I was just like, oh, wow, okay. And I was like, that brings up some shit.
Those lines are so impactful.
Yeah.
And they fill in so much of that gap that the lore has, right? And because what this show is doing now, I mean, we'll talk about which direction the show is going, and did it do Boba dirty or not? We'll talk about it at the end. But
I like how, again, he does show up in this episode. Doesn't have any speaking lines. He is literally an extra.
Oh man, it's
whatever. It's
the internet. I've heard a couple. The internet has gone wild right now, and we'll discuss that at the end. But the internet has gone wild about this. So anyways, she's talking to him. She's basically saying to him, like, I don't think it's a good idea for you to go meet Grogu. And I'm going, what? Like,
dude,
I was getting choked a little bit. I was getting a little mad.
I was too. I was sitting there.
I'm gonna admit, I was getting a little mad.
Like, this was the first episode that, like, I was, like, talking at my TV. I mean, I was talking to my dog at the TV, but, like, this season I've been like, oh, that's cool. Oh, this is a cool part. This part. But, like, there were a few points in this episode where I was just like, just let him see his baby boy. Come on.
Yeah.
And then,
I was just like, what? Who are you to tell?
That kind of speaks to the dogmatic practices of the Jedi. And even though Ahsoka is kind of, you know, Jedi.
The thing is she's not a Jedi anymore, though.
No, she's just like a good Force user, essentially.
I think she respects the whole discipline and culture of being a Jedi.
Especially
or the training of becoming a Jedi. She
especially
respects
now
it.
that it's all dissolved, pretty much. So she's like, we've got to put some rules down to start this shit again. But like, and Mandalorians and Jedi are literally polar opposites. Like, apart from like the Sith or whatever, but like their core beliefs are pretty much polar of each other, and that's why there's the Mandalorian.
There's a lot of discipline
wars
in both sides.
Yeah, but it's literally like attachment is bad, and then for Mandalorians it's like attachment is good. So there's literally just opposing opinions. And when she was talking to Mando about it, just being like, is this for you or is this for him? And he's just like, okay, can you just give this to him? I brought this bag of goodies.
I thought it was kind of a unnecessary. Like, I don't know. I was kind of upset when she said that, because I was just like, maybe it's for both of them. Maybe they are meant to be together.
Sure.
Right? So,
but that comes up later too.
Yeah, I know it does. But I'm just saying, from her perspective, who is she to tell him that, is it for you or is it for him? Why can't it be for both? Like, I don't understand. Like,
in her defense, she is the only that we know of senior Jedi in the universe.
Yeah.
But
why even ask that question, though?
She is Luke's senior.
Is it to make him ponder? Because
well, he's just there just to be like, I made this, I miss my buddy, and then she's like, but and also because he was like, oh, it's tradition for Mandalorians to have this, and she's like, but is he a Mandalorian or is he a Jedi? Because he's going on this path.
I know that line was.
Yeah, she was like, is he a Padawan? Like, it also was kind of cementing in his mind, like, you know, he's not necessarily your property or your people. You know, he is now with his people, and your purpose was to bring him to his people and to grow in that aspect. So there was kind of like a bit of a shock, just like shocking him out of it. Just like, you know, he has a path, and maybe what you want is going to be disruptive towards that path for him.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Why can't he be both? That's my other question.
Sure.
And there's going to be hardcore Star Wars fans out there saying, well, he can't be both because they're two different way of life or way of being, right? You know, this is the way, and then the Jedis have their own way. I get that, but there's got to be somebody.
At this point, he's fired from Mandalorian too, so he's now just like confused again. He's midlife crisis. Got his kid taken in the divorce. He got fired from his job.
New hot rod.
He's got a new hot rod, so he's just like, whatever. I'm gonna see my kids. I don't care if it's not the weekend.
But here's the thing: the founding father, if you want to call it, is a Jedi that found the Mandalorians, right?
Yeah.
So, and the blade, the Darksaber blade, is the first of its kind. That now that we see the future version of it with the Jedis holding their lightsabers, so there is a beginning where the two of them were once one, right?
Sure, and but I mean that parallel could be also equated to like Muslims and Jews, like.
Well, we're not gonna get to politics here, but
no, I'm just saying. I see what you're saying. Religions, a lot of them start in one place, and then there's a splinter off for some reason or another, and then now they're like, I hate you. Why? No, because
I don't know if
you
they
like
say
these
that,
things,
but,
and I don't like these things. So
no, I get it, but I just want to see Grogu.
I know.
Pick both.
I know. Oh, no, I agree with you, and I wanted to see that too. I was like almost choked up and like was
I don't like that decision.
upset, and I was just like, I just wanted to see his
I want him
baby
to
boy.
talk. I want him to
Misses
say,
him.
"Shut up, Luke."
Yeah.
So, all right. So basically, after this, we have Ahsoka saying that she will give him the gift because Mando gives him the gift, and then you see Mando taking off in the distance.
Yeah.
And you do see Grogu and Luke see the ship taking off.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you think... we know Luke knows who it is, senses who it is, but do you think Grogu does too?
Oh, absolutely. That's why I was reaching out, and it's just like, oh, hey, that's my guy.
So cute. And so what happens after this now?
So then we go to an awesome training montage where we get kind of pseudo flashbacks.
Very eerie of... the backpack makes it, by the way.
Yeah,
the backpack makes it all the way from the swamps.
Yeah, he does the front flip again and does some sick Jedi parkour.
It's reminiscent of what his training was with Yoda, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's all he knows. So he's
Yoda's on the
just
backpack. He's doing the little flips and stuff.
Yeah, like he never went to a Jedi school. He got trained a bit by Obi-Wan and then got trained by Yoda. So he's literally just like, these are the things that I know. Here you go, little guy. And even when he does like when he was asking Grogu about like, what do you remember? So I guess this is kind of going into the fact that like either someone or Grogu himself kind of blocked memories. And was that someone nefariously doing that to him, or was that like trauma blocking?
It's trauma. I'm putting my money on trauma because we get that scene, and that was really cool where Luke actually goes and says, "Hey, do you want to get some of your memory back?" And he touches him on the head, and you see Order 66, right?
Yeah, you see the 501st blasting down some Jedi.
Yeah, blasting down 3 Jedis. I think a couple of them were like from librarians or something like that. But you see them getting slayed, and that's the part, remember, where Anakin goes and slays these kids. Yeah,
well, the 501st, the ones with the blue armor, later became Vader's Fist, the group called. And so those ones, the 501st, were directly working with Anakin. So that was like during the sacking of the Jedi Temple. Yeah,
it was really sad to see.
It was brutal to see like them double tap the Jedis after they died. It's like shit. Okay.
Yeah, they were just mowing them down, right?
Yeah.
So, no, it was crazy, but no, I chalk it up to trauma. I really do. I just, especially when you see him just like shaking and in fear, right?
Yeah.
What they didn't explain is how he escaped.
Yeah. See, yeah, and
I would have loved to see that.
Well, I mean, we still might. I mean, Ahsoka might have. I don't really know what the timeline or the plan for Ahsoka is, but like, I would imagine probably a bit with Luke and Grogu if that becomes a reoccurring thing. I guess we'll see after this episode. But yeah, like how he got off Coruscant, how he ended up.
That's a big mystery.
On Tatooine. No, wait.
You're saying
a ship.
You mentioned somebody, and I'm gonna throw it out there. Mace Windu?
Oh, yeah. This is a thing that's,
You mentioned that he might pop up, but I'm thinking if anyone was to rescue him, maybe Mace Windu, right? It could be Yoda himself. Cool.
Could be Yoda too.
Yeah, Yoda's like, yo, homie, you're one of us, I gotta take you out of here. Right?
Yeah, you can fit in this tiny little space pod with me. There's more than enough room.
Speaking of that, it's interesting, and we'll talk about it, about how this new ship is designed.
Yeah, well, he's got a little Grogu pod above.
Yeah, exactly. It was something that I'm like, when they started hinting towards it, I'm like, they're just foreshadowing that's going to happen.
Sure. He could fit a block of carbonite in there or another passenger, but we all know that it's got an elevator so that Grogu can pop up there.
I'm gonna say this. I think they're gonna ditch the ship next season, or season 3. I think they're gonna ditch it and they're gonna actually get a ship.
Just every season he gets a ship blown up.
Hey, merchandise sells, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean,
am I right? Am I right?
Speaking of merchandise, I ordered a Black Series Boba Fett helmet.
Oh,
Yeah, like,
does it have the dent on it?
yep, it's the repainted. It's the repainted one.
Okay.
Actually, do you know where that dent comes from?
Oh,
and this is canon.
I know.
Okay, you do. Okay,
I did. I purposely said that because I wanted to know, and we will get to that for sure. Yes. Where are we now? So basically, there's training done. He's showing him the way. The frog scene was funny, where he was trying to elevate the frog and try to eat it. That was hilarious. And then Luke's like, "Well, I'll just elevate all the frogs and show you that what you can do, what your potential is." But you need to get what together.
Eat your vegetables and do your homework.
And he sure did learn, because he brought out that little ball that shoots a laser, reminiscent of what Ben did. Yeah. What Ben did with Luke, right? Mm-hmm. In Tatooine. So he was doing these flips, and it was hilarious to see him just flipping around everywhere. That was partly him remembering again, because he was at the Jedi Temple, so he was trained for. It's unlocking the powers are starting to unlock. Right? Yeah, because he's like over 50 years or 50 years old or something. And I'm just wondering, like, okay, how strong can this guy get at how fast? Like, if he's going to be in season 3, which I know he's going to be in season 3, how strong is he? Because if he's already picking up this fast here, what's another year of training going to do for him? Yeah. Right? Like, that's what I'm thinking. I think he's going to be an important character. He's not just going to be some babysitting character anymore. Where if someone has to look after him, I think he can hold his own, and that's where I think the bond is going to get stronger. And now he's now not an issue. He's not a problem. He's an asset. He's not a liability. Yeah, he's not a liability. He's an asset now to Mando, where he can do certain things for him, right? And I got a little Grogu with me right here, anyways, next to me. There he is. Look how tiny this guy is. Oh, look. I'm looking. I'm getting my Grogu. Oh. Yeah, you get the stuffed little guy. Yeah. This is the actual size for 1/12 scale figures. Oh, no way. Yeah. So he actually scales with Mando exactly. That's like awesome. This. Yeah. We got sidetracked there, which is fine. We're allowed to get sidetracked. Totally. Book of Boba Fett sidetracked. Yeah. Well, so let's talk about this right now, because the internet is just destroying Boba Fett and all the people that were like hyping up Boba Fett. So what do you think? What's going on? I heard one thing that kind of that it excuses everything away, and that is. It is called the Book of Boba Fett, and when you read a book, there's tons of us. Like, you can get 2 chapters on some asshole that just showed up, and you're not like, "Man, this is about this family. Why is it telling me about this?" It's like, it's a side story. It's part of how books are. So when you think of it like that, and it is the Book of Boba Fett, the fact that we're getting a couple episodes of not Boba Fett, it's just like, okay, and. I mean, it is kind of shitty that they are the best episodes, that like the main character, when he's in them, that's the problem. That's the problem, right? But again, it's the story of Boba Fett, and all of these things are absolutely. I'm very excited next week to watch the whole season front to back, because everything has been built up wonderfully. Again, I don't know if I agree about the placement of the flashbacks, or if everything should have been chronological. Yeah. But that being said, I was not expecting them to be able to build tension in 2 episodes, especially like with 5 episodes of buildup and like and talking about like there's gonna be a war, there's the bad guys, here's some good guys, there's gonna be a war, and it's like we have 2 episodes left. You can't make me care about anyone at this point. And then it was just like, here's a good episode, here's a good episode, and I was just like, holy shit, I care what's gonna happen. So I'm very excited to watch them all front to back once the whole story has been told, because it's shaping up to be a really good season. For me, I mentioned it to you this last time. I would have liked to see this as a prelude. Sure. Right? I would have liked to see, because season 3 is not coming out till late this year. Yeah. Right? I would have loved to see Disney do something creative and go, here's a 2-part filler in the summer for you guys to get your appetite a little bit, wet here. So here's 2 episodes that we're going to give you. They're a prelude to what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I would have loved that because that's creativity. That's something that's never been done before. An hour-long special in the summer to get you ramped up for the big season 3.
Yeah.
Because believe it or not, of all the shows they're doing, the Marvel stuff and all the other stuff they're doing on Disney Plus, this show, Mandalorian, single-handedly is the most popular show on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
It is they showed this with data because when season 1 came out and when it ended, there was a massive nosedive in retention of people buying the subscription again the following month. And that's when they quickly realized, we better ramp up production of other shows because this show can't singly be the reason why people want to go and renew. That's problematic for us because we spend all this money bringing this streaming service to life, and we're going to lose millions here if we don't get our act together, right? I also think this show is responsible for all the other shows that have come afterwards. Even the announcement of shows, because now they're announcing shows that are a year or 2 years not even in production yet. Yeah. But they have to do that because
you're talking about the
Mandalorian and Disney stuff, like Marvel stuff, whatever it is, like they had to do investor conferences.
No, I mean you're talking about Mandalorian as far as
yes, absolutely,
the start of all of this.
Yeah. The Mandalorian is the pioneer of everything that came afterwards. It is a reason why Disney had to get their act together and add more shows because this show single-handedly made a lot of people subscribe. I know I did. If it wasn't for Mandalorian, I wouldn't be subscribing to Disney Plus in the beginning years. I would wait until the second year when they got all the other shows to come out. Then I would have started paying for the service. That show single-handedly made me spend my money.
Yep.
Same. Right? So I would have loved to see them do something like that in the summer, but this also is... They're adding this world-building thing, and I guess Book of Boba Fett is going to be the first show that's going to have some of these characters as a world-building thing, or universe-building, or galactical building, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel the show has been rushed. I have no... I don't feel anything about the Pikes being bad guys. How sometimes Thanos, everybody's like, oh, we really hate this bastard, right?
Yeah.
He's a piece of shit.
They haven't done anything to, the standard formula for TV or movie bad guys is you show them be human, then you create someone that you like, and then you have the bad guy kill that person that you like, because then you immediately get the audience on your side.
Yep.
And so you're like, that's the bad guy. I hate him because he killed Steve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or
I'm outraged. I want to see this guy's head cut off or her head cut off, right? Yeah.
But
with the Pikes, you don't get that. I don't get it.
Not in this series.
They tried doing that with the Tuskens dying, right?
Yeah.
They tried to give
that with the Tuskens,
that emotion,
which I wonder if they're going to show up at all. Maybe.
Yeah, because
what's her name's still alive or not confirmed dead. But so they kind of told us about the Pikes quite a bit in Solo. A movie that I did not watch. I did not watch it. Maybe I should go watch it. You should.
Okay.
Rogue One, I think, is the best Star Wars movie that's come out.
That was the worst movie besides the trilogy for me.
Yeah, that's weird to hear that.
Because I thought it was a cash grab. That's why I thought it was a complete cash grab. But I watched it again, and I gotta say, it was really nice.
Yeah, as a contained story. Again, I went into watching Solo as just you can't make me care. Or sorry, Rogue One. I went into Rogue One being like, you can't make me care. I know they all die. Also, you're changing the canon because technically Kyle Katarn was the one who stole the Death Star plans, and I love those games. The Jedi Knight
That's why
series.
I did not like that.
And I was like, you're changing that, but whatever. All old canon's
That's
dead.
why I'm saying
let's
that
see what
it was
you
a
got.
cash grab because it was in my mind going in. I'm like, this is not how it was.
Yeah,
you're forcing this storyline in there to make a few bucks.
Sure.
Right.
And I was like, I'm going into this. Everyone's going to die. I already know what happens. Then we got really good acting, pretty cool story, a lot of good action, and the coolest Darth Vader / Texas Chainsaw Massacre scene in the end, and it blew my mind.
Yeah.
And Solo was not as good as Rogue One, but it was still pretty good. Also, Darth Maul comes back, and that's
the reason why I want to watch it, just because of him.
That's the first time, I think, in the movies that they had the animation crossover, like majorly. They had a couple like references here and there throughout the movies from like Rebels.
What was the girl's name? The one who was from Game of Thrones.
Kira.
So apparently she might be part of the syndicate, right?
No, she is.
So she might be with the Pikes as well, running the syndicate issue, right?
Yes.
They're saying that there's a connection with that.
Yep.
In the Book of Boba Fett. So
yeah, well,
maybe
Darth
I should
Maul's
watch
dead.
it. Maybe I should watch it before next week.
Yeah, actually, probably.
Yeah.
Because lots of people have been speculating that Kira's going to show up, because she is pretty deeply rooted with the Pikes. There's
also a rumor that Darth Maul's ship shows up in last week's episode.
Darth Maul. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, doing
the ring scene when you see
interdictor.
the ring.
No, what's the? Yeah, you see his ship in the background.
Apparently, there was a rumor that his ship shows up in the background, a little bit fuzzy, but they can make it out that it's ship.
Yeah.
So that's where the fuel now is, going into the fire for her.
Because she might have taken his ship, because
Yeah.
Darth Maul's been dead for a while
Yeah,
now.
so that's where now everyone's thinking that she might be responsible in some ways.
What was his ship called? It was really cool. It was something like
something crazy, yeah.
Guillotine or
Anyways,
bridge or something.
Look how we just sidetracked into a whole different... And this is what it is all about, isn't it? Like, it makes you theorize about all these other connections. And this is cool because that's what it's supposed to be doing. It should not be what...
It's called the Scimitar.
Scimitar, there you go.
Yeah.
Rancor or Rantar. Or
Reptar.
Reptar. We should make a Reptar shirt. A Reptar.
Hell yeah.
And just have different spellings on the shirt.
Yeah. Okay, so
anyways, let's get back into this. So let's move forward here. So training's done. Blah blah blah. We kind of go into now.
Oh, we have wait. There's one line when Luke and Ahsoka are talking, and again seeing Luke talking with her, and she's like his superior, and like how much respect he has for her. And then the one line that she had where she's just like, "Oh, so much like your dad." It was just like,
damn, right?
Whoa. There's a lot to unpack in that sentence.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh man, that is so good.
There's so much in that, yeah.
Then training's done.
He gets off planet. Mando goes back.
Mando goes back to the palace there, and then you see the biker gang hanging out with Boba, Finnick, and
you see Boba do a bunch of reactions and no speaking lines.
Yeah, he just nods. Hey, good to see you. How do you not talk to Mando? Like, I don't get it. This is a buddy of yours that you went to combat with. You should at least say hi.
No, he just gives him the Mando nod.
Offer him a drink, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
Right? He just came. He didn't even take your bag of gold or credits, and he came to help you. Just offer him a goddamn drink. Hey, you want a drink?
Hug.
Yeah. Hey, buddy, how's it going? We share similarities in our armor. Best car for everybody, right?
Yeah.
Give him a drink, but he just nods at him. I'm just like, what?
Like,
what's going on here? We haven't seen you for 2 episodes, and all you do is nod.
Yeah.
Right? And so they're planning this, this whole big battle that's about to take place in next week's episode.
Mm-hmm.
And
they still have the mayor's lackey is
that guy is just like
good.
That guy doesn't shut up, does he? He's like, it's more of like a vacation. Shut up, dude.
Yeah, no, actually it was a scheduled vacation.
Gotta hand it to that guy. The role that he had, he nailed it. Right?
Yeah, he did.
He did. He nailed it. He should be in future episodes for sure. He should be his assistant, right? Boba's assistant. He feeds the Rancor at the bottom.
Yeah.
We don't see Machete.
Oh yeah, Machete. Maybe he's just hanging out with the Rancor.
if you need people, that's the guy you need to bring.
Yeah.
He's got a machete.
Yeah, the Gamorreans have those big vibro axes. Give Machete one. Like,
I don't get it.
Stuff.
Like, every man and children should be on that, in that room trying to help him because he's gonna need all the help he can get. Which, by the way, he asked, we need a bunch of troops, or we need some infantry, whatever you want to call it. And foot soldiers. And Mando goes, let me get back to you. I know somebody that can help with that.
Yeah.
And obviously is Cobb Vanth. He goes to the town, but before he goes to the town, he's flying by, and the Jawas.
You see the Jawas. They've got the crate dragons.
Oh, these guys are so badass. They're just like, they are flaunting it.
They got the crate dragon skull on there.
At
first, for a split second, was just like, is he gonna go to the Jawas and be like, "Yo, we need foot soldiers"?
Oh, I know. I was like, no. Don't
ask
these guys for help. Don't ask for these guys for help.
Yeah,
that would have been just comical, right?
Yeah.
Can I get about 100 of you? I promise to get you scraps afterwards as payment.
Yeah, you can take all. Yeah,
take the Pike's ships as scraps.
Yeah,
or build me a new one out of it. Right.
Half sandcrawler, half Pike
exactly.
ship.
So he fires up and goes to see Cobb Vanth, and in his town where he met him,
Pelgo.
Yeah, and then the marshal comes in. The marshal guy comes in, and he's just
can't park here.
Hey, you can't park here. And Rando's like, "Pardon me? Who the hell are you? Get out of my way!" Right?
I'm here.
I'm serious,
Mr. Vanth.
And he's like,
"Yeah, I heard you."
I heard you. In other words, he's like, yeah, that's nice. That's great. Yeah. Anyways, get out of my way. Right? I would have loved to see the flamethrower. Again, another episode without a flamethrower.
That's true.
God damn it. That's 2 in a row. What's going on here, Mando?
You're building it up.
Yeah. He's charging up for season 3.
We've got like semi hints for the end of the episode. We've got like at least 3 people with flamethrowers on both their wrists.
Right?
In the fray now, so.
So he goes to the bar. He's like, hey, can I buy you? Cobb Vanth comes on and goes to his marshal. He's like, hey, listen, just go away.
Calm down. I'll handle this.
You're going to get your ass handed to you. Just go away. Let me handle this. So they're like, Mando's like, can I buy you a drink? I need to talk to you.
That was nice. That was saying, I'll buy you a drink. So like, aw, he's chilling with his homies.
Yeah, gotta go get a drink. And, he's goes into the bar, and then you see this big giant rib cage in the bar, and we know it's from the same thing that I'm surprised the Jawas didn't take that either, right?
Yeah, everyone got their own bit.
Yeah, you get the head, you get the rib, somebody gets the tail, we're all good.
Well, and the Tuscans got the egg.
Yeah, there you go. See, no scrap left at the table there. They all took their own share. So he's trying to convince him, and at first Cobb Vanth's like, no, it's not my fight. Why do I want to get involved with the city fight? And you get to see, you get to understand there are small towns scattered everywhere. It's not just one major metropolis place. There's tiny little towns that nobody gives a rat's ass about. And this is one of them. And that's why his take is, why would I want to get involved? It doesn't help me in any way. They don't help me. They don't care about us here.
Yeah.
So why should we give a rat's ass about them? And Mando's like, hey, if they're going to take over a whole town, it's going to be the planet next.
Yeah.
And you, my friend, are not going to be the sheriff anymore when that happens.
Yeah. Well, and also, too, it's like the same thing that because it's all like reused themes in most stories. So it's the same kind of mentality that Luke had in A New Hope, when he was just like, yeah, the Empire's not that bad. They don't care about Tatooine. It was the same thing. And then it showed up on his doorstep and killed his family, and he's like, okay, I guess I'll deal with the Empire now. So it was similar.
Exactly.
And the Weequay bartender, who is the same guy from The Mandalorian too, when he's just like, when the Mandalorian was like, yeah, you're in Mos Pelgo, and he's like, no, it's Freetown now. We changed the name.
That was funny. Buddy, we changed the name. It's Freetown.
It's Freetown now.
And then he's like,
nice.
You're gonna lose Freetown.
Yeah. Yeah.
So here's the thing, why do characters have to explain the big picture? Why are all the characters that have to be explained dumb? How do they not see, they know what the Galactic Empire did in a galactical way. Why would they think that something like taking over the world is out of their realm. Like, I don't understand that. Like, Cobb Vanth should see the writing on the wall immediately if Mando's coming here and telling him that join forces with me. It shouldn't be like, hey, it's my town.
I think mainly because Tatooine in general, like, it was ruled by the Hutts. Like, it's a fairly, it's not, it's pretty used to just crime being part of its society. So when it's like, hey, these guys are gonna do these bad things, it's just like, okay, cool. And like, as we've heard, like Mos Eisley described, it's a hive of scum and villainy. So it's just like, that's like the downtown, that's the really bad area, but like the peppering neighborhoods outside, like same stuff goes on there. There's like little crime families that's just how that planet works. And so the fact that it's just like, these guys are bad, it's like, cool, well, they're not bothering me, so why should I stand up? So I think it's more to do with the actual planet itself, because like when it's the Empire, like that's the government coming in and screwing everything up. And when it's just like, oh, this company's they're dealing drugs, it's like, I don't care. I got my own shit to deal with. So it's mostly that of just like wanting to have like, blissful ignorance and not realizing that it's going to be as big.
It is ignorance because he's just caring about his little town, right? He doesn't care. And that's what I was saying. Like, it is him just thinking small, not thinking large. And I just want more intelligence in some of these characters once in a while, because
a little more foresight.
Yeah. So basically, Mando's like, listen, get on board here, otherwise you're gonna get wiped out.
Yeah. And he's like, it's not easy to ask for a favor.
Yeah. But at least he's entertaining the thought, because he tells Mando, I'll entertain the thought. And as soon as Mando leaves, he immediately tells the town, the people in the town, like, he tells his marshal and everybody else to go gather the townsmen people, because we're probably going to go to war or something to that line. I forgot exactly what he said.
He's get every person of fighting age,
exactly.
They're having a town meeting, and he's like, dude, none of us want to do this. And he's like, you might after you hear what I have to say. And I'm sure that he was going to talk about what happened that morning.
But before that happens, wah, wah, wah.
The second I saw, so then he looks and he sees something and he's all nervous, and then he's like, hey, go tell everyone to go inside. And then it's total Western scene.
I knew the first time that screen it showed. I knew in the distance.
The second you see his silhouette, I was just like, it's Cad Bane. It's Cad Bane. And I texted you at 3 a.m. and I was just like,
I didn't get your text, thank God.
Holy balls. Because just like the second it was like, it's Cad Bane. This is the coolest show ever. And
so good.
They did such a good job of bringing
it didn't look cheesy. It didn't look terrible. It's the same thing we said when Ahsoka showed up for the first time. It didn't look bad. Oh, come on. Seriously, you thought Ahsoka looked bad?
No, I didn't think she looked bad.
Oh, okay.
There was just some artistic choices made to take her from the animation to real life.
You had to.
Not really. We've had her species in Star Wars before, and they've had huge head tails before.
But so hers is more intricate, though. It's got painting and
but
colors.
they were like this big, and then this big when she was younger, and now they're like this big. But again, it was like a nitpicky thing.
Yeah.
But like the Cad Bane was spit and image. They did the voice perfectly. It's the same voice actor.
Nice. That's good. That's good.
The voice was perfect.
Okay, let me ask you a question. What does Ahsoka and Cad Bane have in common?
They both.
What's the major thing? Let me rephrase that. What's the major common between the two of them? Major.
Well, Anakin.
Think bigger.
Palpatine. I don't know.
Well, you're thinking in a different way, but you're probably never gonna get. So the thing that both of them have in common is Dave Filoni created both.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't want to, if I said any more, I would have gave it away. So
Sure.
yeah, the two characters Filoni created, and that's why he actually directed this episode.
Yeah.
Every time his characters are on the screen, he likes to direct as much as he can.
Which is good, because that's a problem that Star Wars has, is just letting whoever's on set do whatever they want.
People who apparently don't even watch Star Wars can just come and direct.
Sure.
It sounds great.
Yeah.
Right? What could go wrong?
Get the creative director for Barney the dinosaur to come on. And just,
Yeah. I love you, force feed. So yeah, I mean, it was just so good. Even the hose that's attached to his cheeks,
just,
the hat,
his teeth.
yes,
Blech.
the teeth, yes, the teeth. It was not an animated teeth. It was what a teeth would look like for someone like him.
Yeah,
Who's just a disgusting, crazy, lunatic, psycho, all that stuff.
Yep.
Like he's mad, right? And that's the teeth you want.
They got his hat perfect, and just his blaster is like it was spot on.
Yeah. The eyes
were so good.
The tint of red was so good.
And just
it was great.
And
it was
like,
just so well done.
He's not even that big of a deal. Like, I mean, canon-wise, Cad Bane's a badass, super dangerous. He's fought like everybody and gotten away and or won. He fought.
Well, it's kind of go into the helmet of Boba, right?
Yeah.
Why does it have a dent?
Oh yeah, because he got shot by Cad Bane.
They both dueled it out, like the old Western style, like what's happening with Cobb Vann and him, right?
Mm-hmm.
They both are standoff.
And well, same thing happened with him and Fennec.
Yeah.
In the Bad Batch. So Cad Bane was in the Bad Batch as well, showed up, and that was he pretty much had the exact same entrance into this show too.
But I mean this is probably the best. This is the best standoff I've ever seen.
Totally.
Of any
Dude,
Star Wars.
The
I swear to God.
The acting in just the eyes from Timothy Elephant, whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah.
It's Oliphant, I think. Anyway, Timothy Elephant. Tim Elephant.
Elephant. Yeah, Tim.
When he's standing off and they're just having that super tense, just like Cad Bane, just like, yo, mind your own business. Just let things happen. Y'all don't gotta get involved in this. And he's like, so the promise or threat was, who are you never told me your name there, partner. And then his assistant comes in and he's just like, yeah, he's not for sale. And the look he snaps him, he's just like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. It's like, crazy how the assistant just doesn't, like, when the assistant came, I'm like, yo, this dude's dead. He's done.
Yeah. Oh,
he's done. I was like, I'm waiting for this guy to get shot.
Yeah. And does he ever get shot?
Oh, man.
And then that, like, 5 seconds when they're all staring at each other. Everyone's guns are at the ready. Their hands are.
I was waiting for one of
doing
those
the jingle jangle.
Those
tumbleweed
going. I needed that so bad, but then it would not make sense in Tatooine because there's no tumbleweeds. Maybe some spice.
Yeah. Just like a Jar Jar's head rolling by. Or something.
Shots fired.
Yeah, because there's a defending.
There were shots fired, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Pew,
and
pew, pew.
that, like, 5 seconds or less when the deputy kind of gets a bit jumpy and his look of just like, no, and then he pulls, so he's just like, shit, now I have to, because you screwed it all up. And he gets shot in the shoulder. Cobb, he's not dead. Like,
no, Cobb's not dead.
No, everyone's like, I don't know. He's not dead.
No, he's fine. He's just got a little cut. He'll be fine.
Yeah, he got shot in the shoulder. He's fine. His assistant got the hell shot out of him, which I was just like, yeah, douchebag's
I keep calling him Marshal, but you're right. It's a deputy. Yeah, he shouldn't deserve the word.
Whatever.
He shouldn't deserve the label Marshal.
Yeah, he's
that douche needs to be a deputy. Yeah, deputy douche.
He's a lackey at best.
Yeah. But he got his ass handed to him, so that's great.
Yeah. So now Cad Bane's back. He's working for the Pikes. He obviously got Freetown super riled up So they're all gonna go to war.
Yeah.
And yeah. So
Man, this episode, well, let's get into our final thoughts here. I gotta say, this is probably one of the most entertaining episodes I've seen in any of the Star Wars episodes of anything. Like forget the movies, remove the movies out of the way.
Yeah. No, TV show. I
Mando
think I had a similar reaction.
Bad Batch is great. Mando's good. Clone Wars is great. But I gotta say, man, this is like to see Cad Bane's in a live action show.
Yeah,
is what a lot of people have been clamoring for.
Okay, as I was gonna say before, Cad Bane's not that big a deal. Like, just as far as like characters, nobody really is like, oh, Cad Bane's the coolest. He's just like, oh, he's that bounty hunter guy from the Clone Wars. But when he showed up, I lost my mind, and
because
don't
it's unique
know why,
and refreshing.
because it's, I think so. I think it's just another like when the other Mandalorians like Katie Sackhoff and or Bo-Katan and
Bo-Katan Creed,
when they showed up from Clone Wars, I was like, oh cool, they got her to reprise her role. And I think it's just because like though I don't know why. Like,
you know what? I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. There's a shroud of mystery behind with this guy. There's mystery, plus people love badasses. It's known. People love
Bo-Katan's a badass, and there's tons. Like, this is what.
But Bo-Katan is considered a good character. A lot of people just like a badass villain, right? And he's one of those guys that doesn't have a whole lot going on for him in the past, but there's a shroud of mystery about him, and people know he's a badass because he does have that. I took a shot and shot Boba Fett's helmet. I'm the one that fought all these people. He's had dueling battles with some popular characters, but he's never had like full stories about him or involvement in full stories. So that's why I think that there's a whole lot of excitement when they see him. Is because
he had a huge arc. He had a huge arc in the Clone Wars. He Obi-Wan went undercover and got arrested, and they had like 5 episodes with them where they tried to kidnap Palpatine.
I mean movies and live action. Like,
movies and live action.
But he never had anything. That's what I'm saying. Like, he has the following because of the things that a lot of people, mainstream people, see the movies and TV shows. Not everybody has watched Clone Wars. Not everybody's read the books or comics, right? So there is a following there.
Oh, okay. I see.
But what I'm saying is, like, you never see this guy ever in any movie or TV show. So when you do see this character for the first time, and because he's got such a badass, persona, who he is, it just amps it up more, right? Yeah. So that's what it is. It's just like, oh my god, this badass is actually here, live action in front of us, right? So I think that's the reason why you were excited and I was excited, and people who don't know who he is now are gonna go look and find out who he is. And that's the other good thing about this is there's new people and new fans always coming along every day, and when they see a character and then they go on the internet and people are losing their minds, they're like, oh, okay, well, what is this? I need to go find out. So they go and watch all this stuff, and that's the beauty about Star Wars. If you can do that, then you're servicing not just the vets, but you're also serving new people to get lost in this huge lore.
Right? Because to know, like, they did such a good job of introducing him, showing you he's a force to be reckoned with, and you, like, for someone who's only, for some ridiculous reason, only ever seen the Book of Boba Fett and no other Star Wars content, which I don't know why you would do that. But
there's young kids. Like, I'll give you an example. My son, he doesn't know who Cad Bane is. He didn't even know who Ahsoka was. But now that he knows who Ahsoka is, he goes back and watches the animations to learn more. Right, but has
he seen The Mandalorian?
Well, he saw The Mandalorian, yeah.
So I think those two, like, that's what I mean, like, just watching that and not The Mandalorian. I don't know that anyone would ever do that, but those two. But they did that with Solo too, how they, like, not retcon, but they reestablished that Darth Maul is alive and well. So for people who didn't watch this series or watch the Clone Wars or read comics, they might be like, oh, I thought he died. He died when Obi-Wan cut him in half.
Yeah.
But as we know in Star Wars, if you get cut in half, that just means you're alive.
You still have your better half, so you're good.
Yeah, and you fall in a pit, you're good.
Yeah, falling and getting cut in half. No, you still around, bro.
Not death wishes. Yeah,
you're still good, bro.
Yeah.
What else do you want to add to this? I'm genuinely excited for the chapter to end. You see what I did there? Chapter to end. I don't know. What'd you give it out of 10?
10.
I already know what you're. Yeah, see, I knew you were gonna say that.
This was.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I laughed. I almost teared up. I was on the edge of my seat during fight scenes.
I wish we could have recorded you doing
the
this.
The fight scenes. There wasn't a lot. There was a couple. There wasn't a big fight scene. There was. You could probably count on two hands how many shots were fired. And they were the most intense scenes of just like, oh shit, what's happening? Oh, and like
it's just a great cinematic and cinematography. What's the word I'm looking for?
It was just great storytelling.
Just the way they just the motion,
the pacing.
I will never forget the blurriness in the distance of Cad Bane coming.
Oh,
it was so.
I rewatched that part.
So like,
after I finished the episode, I went back and
yeah.
just watched that part again because I was just like, that was so well done.
It's so Western. They nailed it. They nailed it.
Yeah.
Right? Like they were just a tumbleweed away from taking me back
from
to
being
18,
crass, I think.
Yeah. To going to Billy Kid, standing over Tombstone, the movie, right?
Yeah.
Just it's so well done, and I really appreciate it. I'm gonna give this a 9.5. I'm gonna definitely give it a 9.5. It was up there, and man, oh man. I hope the last episode we see more fighting. I think we're gonna see Boba get back at Cad Bane and shoot him.
Oh, absolutely.
Knock his hat off.
So there was some deleted scenes not deleted scenes because the Clone Wars was canceled. So there was a bunch of stories where they fought again, and it was like a 2 people enter, 1 person leave. That story was never finished or completed or ever confirmed, but we can assume that Boba Fett wins because anyway.
That's interesting because I would love to see the two of them square off, but Cobb Vanth might say, hey, I know I want him, right?
So this episode was very like breaking. And then the Pikes show up to the bar in
that part,
and then they
blow
the
get
place up.
the city just get the city upside down, just get them on in a rage, right?
Yeah,
they go into that and just, oh man, I feel bad, she's dead now. I loved her. She was awesome.
Max Rebo was not there, confirmed. They had a wide shot of the band, and Max Rebo was not there, so it's okay. Max, he survived Jabba's sail barge, and now bombing a Pike car.
For those who don't know, can you describe Max?
He's a blue 6-legged elephant that slays the xylophone or glockenspiel.
He's
or
dead.
whatever.
He was in the bathroom taking a piss.
No,
and they blew up.
You've seen Indiana Jones. That's canon. He just gets into a fridge. He's okay. He can survive a nuke.
But what's her name?
Oh wait, no, we have got one more scene at the end when it goes back to Grogu and Luke sitting in the tent.
The biggest scene. What is wrong with us? We should write this stuff down and be professionals.
I mean, we're just still
we're never gonna do that. we just have our notes in our hand and we're just gunslinging like wild Western soldiers. Just shooting from the hip here, drinking our beers and shooting our hips. Not shooting our hips, shooting from our hips. But okay, big scene at the end. Luke basically says to him, "You cannot do both. You cannot pick both. This is the beautiful chain link that your friend Mando gave you, made from Beskar armor. You can pick this, or I'm gonna pull out my master Yoda's lightsaber." And says,
canonically, Yoda's lightsaber was destroyed, so they retconned that. There was a canon comic book that after the sacking of Coruscant, They had, I can't remember what the species is called, but they're blue and they got spikes that come out of their tail.
Okay, and they destroyed it?
Yep. They showed, they had, so he was one of the senators for Palpatine. They had this big party celebration thing because the Empire was starting and the Jedi were actually really bad. And they started his new galactic empire. And they just like had buckets full of lightsabers from the Jedi Temple that they were putting into a furnace. And the last one that they put in, he held it up and was just like, this means freedom or something. And it was Yoda's lightsaber. So they retconned that, which is fine. Because it kind of makes sense that Yoda had it with him and then Luke was there when he died. So he was just like, all right, cool. I'm going to take all your stuff. So it's not a stretch of the imagination.
What's your password to your iPhone?
Yeah. Is it WordPass?
Is it Jedi? So yeah, he basically presented him with the two options. He's like, whichever one you take, you have to stick to that and follow that. And he wasn't doing a good job of selling it, was he? He was trying to. No. I think he almost like says to him, "Hey, take the Mandalorian route because you're probably gonna survive that route compared to the Jedi route because there's only a couple of us and we're probably gonna get what are handed to us."
Well, he was neutral. He wasn't, because he essentially had to do the same thing. And again, he's not super well versed in the old ways of the Jedi. He's kind of also making his way up too. And so he wasn't like he wasn't pushing him in either way. And he kind of can sense, because he was asking Ahsoka like, what do I gotta do? Because he can sense his head's not there and he's distracted and his mind is cloudy and all that. So he's just like, I don't know, like, dude, you can do this or this. Like, you got to commit. Like, go fast and commit. You can't be wishy-washy. I need you here 100%. And if you're not, then you know what? You can go be a Mandalorian. But, like, it's up to you. Here's 2 cool, awesome pieces of gear. Pick your class. So he just, like, Luke gave him the ultimate like Call of Duty, right? Decision. Yeah.
Get you.
Do you want to be sniper? Do you want to be the ranger, or do you want to be the paladin?
It's funny, we gave our scores and we still are talking about it, and of course we missed the biggest part here at the end.
Yeah, of course.
He's gonna pick the chain link. He's gonna go with Mando because if that is the temple that is supposed to be built, theoretically, if he was to stay there, he'd be dead by Kylo Ren.
Sure. I kind of don't want him to go back to Mando.
I do.
I would prefer, because we've seen. How do
you not want him to go back because he's such a big character?
You reunited with him. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
But I don't want to see him flip around because the fight with Yoda and Dooku was pretty dumb. In episode 2 The fight with Yoda.
Okay, well, he doesn't have to jump around. He could just use the Force and move things.
Yeah, I know, but they already showed him jumping around and doing flips. So I hope they don't go cheesy route, make him a spinning ball of death, and be like,
he can get into places that Mando can't get into. So that's maybe he'll use him like that way.
So I think I'm mainly just being like, I hope he goes the Jedi way, because I'm afraid of them messing it up. If
he goes the Jedi way, then you'll never see him again.
No, that's not true. They've got a whole 4 other TV shows that he could show up in.
Why would he show up in all the other shows? They're not even. Mando is the closest show that he's going to be related to.
Ahsoka.
There's no reason for him to show up for Ahsoka.
Why not? They're like 3 of
What's
the
he
only
gonna do?
Jedi.
Ahsoka doesn't need him.
No, but she's going to be part of the school. Assuming.
She's going to chase. She's looking for Admiral Thrawn.
Yeah, they're going to kill Thrawn, and then she's going to go hang out with Luke. They're going to kill Thrawn
probably at the very end of that season.
Yeah, of course, but they got to hang out with Grogu because he sells merch. Come on, we've been talking about merch.
He's going to sell merch, and he's going to sell it in season 3. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's inevitable.
I don't know. I at this point, I have complete faith in them not screwing things up.
Aside from the Boba Fett TV show. Oh, shots fired.
No, I'm talking about. I have faith in them not screwing up this show. Because while I think things could have been done better, all in all, there's nothing I would change about the show other than maybe the placement of scenes. But I wouldn't change the actual scenes themselves.
Yeah.
Immediately when I saw them, there were a couple I was just like, this is dumb. Why is this in this show? But now, seeing it as a whole, I'm like, okay, those characters make sense. Sure. Again, had they gone chronological, I think it would have fixed a lot of people's animosity to a lot of things, or made it less bad at least. But
yeah, I mean, it's such a tough decision for him to make at such a young age. But he's 50 years old, but still young. I think the best thing is to go with Mando and become with the Mandalorian, but he might be the way to tie in the two. Maybe he's the one that says, you know what, we could be both.
Yeah.
Right? Both are good. We can be both. You can kind of lean towards one more if you want, but there's nothing wrong with being both or learning both ways, right? And remember, Mando has the lightsaber, so maybe Grogu teaches him how to use it.
Yeah. And also, too, we don't know that Luke's not a shit teacher. Like,
yeah. That's true.
What did he get? He got like a bunch of dudes that
he got his hand cut off,
murdered. No, like his history is like Grogu, who's just like, I can't remember things. Kylo Ren and all of his homies who just pissed off and then just shot and killed everyone. So like, he's not batting well. So maybe he's just a really bad teacher, and that's why when he got to the island and then Rey shows up, she's like, teach me. He's just like, I am garbage. Go away.
Hey, by the way, where's this mechanical hand?
It's under the glove.
They don't show that. I wish they showed that.
No, he had a glove on the whole time.
I know. I wish they showed it. Man.
Oh. Yeah,
that would have been nice to see that. Yeah.
Maybe.
Hey, Mando, you're not the only one with Beskar.
Yeah.
That'd been awesome.
Maybe he just cocks it all up, and then Grogu shows up and murders everyone and becomes the first evil little green guy.
Oh. His eyes turn red.
Sure.
Like Cad Bane's.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I think speculation time.
Okay.
Who we think's going to show up.
Oh, episode 8?
Yeah.
What's her name that we mentioned from the Maul?
Maul's
yeah.
Kira.
Kira.
Right. Arsing's already dead.
I think she shows up.
Kira, yeah, I would agree. I think that would make sense.
It's a very expensive episode, though, because she demands quite a big coin. Emily, whatever her name is. Well, yeah, she's popular right now. She's huge. Game of Thrones, man. Come on.
Yeah, but they've already had her for Star Wars.
Yeah, that was a movie budget, though. This is a TV show. It's 1/10 the budget.
They've got Ewan McGregor and Rosario Dawson.
Yeah, and
Ewan McGregor's
going to get a bulk of that budget for that show.
Yeah.
She demands that level, and you also have to pay off.
Episode.
Yeah, just for one episode. She's going to demand that big coin. Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe I don't think she's going to come then. If you look at it financially, it doesn't make sense for them to pay that much for one.
That's Disney. They can do whatever the hell they want.
If they do, then hats off to them. But
maybe that's why some of the CG was shit in the first episodes, because they had to spend it all on her. They're just like, yeah, we got to. Sorry, buds, we got to take out $5 million for.
Okay, so what's yours? What's yours?
I think they're gonna get Bosk, because we need we need to get like this person versus this person. We've got Pikes, so we've got the Pikes versus the Village People, and the and the Power Rangers.
Yeah.
So that those conflicts make sense. So we got Boba, we got Fennec, we got
Cobb.
We got Cobb, and we've got
Mando.
Din. That's 4 badasses right there.
Mm-hmm.
So we got
Bane.
Cad Bane.
Okay.
And Chrysanthemum.
Okay.
So we got 5 badasses. Mm-hmm. Also, is Black Chrysanthemum not just The Rock but furry? Like, he gives this a lot.
Yeah, the look.
He eyebrows like no tomorrow. Okay,
that
so we got
steel look.
Yeah, so we got Boba versus Cad Bane, obviously.
Yeah.
We got, I think, Bosk versus Black Chrysanthemum. Then we got Mando,
But don't forget Fennec Shan too. She can
Fennec.
hold her own.
No. She's we got
She can hold her
Mando
own, too.
and Fennec. So I don't know.
I think what's gonna happen is you're just gonna see a swarm of Pikes, and they're all just gonna have to fight a bunch of Pikes. I don't think you're gonna see. I could be totally wrong, but I don't think you're gonna see too many boss level characters show up. You know what I mean? I think you're just gonna see an overwhelming swarm of Pikes, and they're just gonna have to fight as a team to get through it all, and that's gonna serve as your boss level trouble.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get Boba riding a Rancor.
Ho ho ho!
So like, why do we need anybody else? So we got Boba on a bloody Rancor.
Yeah, and Machete comes out.
And then Machete comes out and just starts eating dudes.
All right, we are well over our timestamp here, but yeah, the next episode is going to be really, really cool, and we can't wait to get into it and talk about it. But yeah, I mean, if you're listening to us or watching us, thank you. We appreciate it. If you want to visit our social media platforms, go to @AstonishingNR, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Go in there and follow us and leave a comment on anything that we do. If you're listening to us, you can go to our YouTube channel, Astonishing News and Reviews, and see our beautiful mugs. We'll do upload of the video, and we do a weekly on Mondays at 8:30 p.m. Pacific time. Join us there. You can actually engage with us. We'll definitely love to see anybody to show up there and have a chat with us. We'll answer some questions, and subscribe to our channel, because we're giving away cool stuff all the time. So if you're a subscriber, every month, subscribe and leave a comment. You have a chance to win a prize. Very simple. Yep. But wherever you are in the galaxy, anything you want to say, Justin?
Well, next week is the end, so are we not gonna live stream it?
Should we?
I think so. We were talking about doing a live stream for the finale.
Should we do it at midnight? No.
Actually, do you wanna? We can do a live, like.
I think that's a discussion I would have with my better half before I do.
Okay.
That.
Well,
let's have that discussion first.
Do a live stream at some point about the end and the series as a whole.
We'll talk about it the weekly. How about that?
Sure. That's next Friday. Monday. I don't know what day it is. I'm tired.
Monday at 8:30 Pacific time, please.
Anyways,
wherever you are in the galaxy, have yourself a good morning, good day, and a good night. Bye-bye.
Internet.